Good morning, people. Okay, this is the route I took when I was a kid, when I ran off from the first daycare. No, wait, it was the second abusive daycare. And I haven't been in contact with any of the other people. I call them sometimes the others. Um, but it was quite a little walk. I guess they would um, say it was 21 minutes for a grown person, probably. They wouldn't be mapping this for a child. Maybe they should, though, smaller steps. And I said this is the route, but it may not be the exact route. I haven't really thought about that. I mean, I could have, started here and shot up to Grand. Well, no, that would be, well, who knows? But I came home and would wake my dad up, who'd be asleep, because at that time he hadn't started at the post office yet and was still on night shift with Kroger. And he'd get kind of hacked off at me. I would let myself into the garage and get like a rake or something long handle and reach up to the bedroom window where I knew he'd be asleep and tapped on the window with the tool. And of course, he'd have to drive me back across town. See, he and I would hang out on Wednesdays on his day off after he got on at the post office. Wednesday was his regular day off, and he would take me to Papa Jake's on 16th, and he liked to go there because a lot of the mailmen for that area on that side of town would be there taking their break, and they did that for years. Um, gather there and have their coffee and donuts or whatever. And so my normal thing was usually a bear claw and a chocolate milk. So, but that's that. And then, wait a sec. Thought I had this ready, but yeah. This was the daycare. But they painted it beige. It was white back then. See? Maybe I have it too large. I have it at 300%. Probably a little better to look at if it's, see? And my mom, when she would take me here in the mornings before she'd go to work, would take me in the side door over here where they put a deck now. And it went into one of the, um, day rooms, I'd call them. See, the daycare was downstairs, living quarters were upstairs. And I believe there was a fire escape, probably around back, if I could get around there. And this room here, this was a daycare worker named Donna. She basically lived there, and this was her bedroom, and went home on weekends to St. Louis on a train to see her dad. Well, this is the room they kept several of us in. They warehoused us for whatever reason. Um, whether it was for them having too many kids for the amount of employees or whatever reason, because I believe the story went that the owners were taking cash payments and not turning them in. And those that they did turn in, because of course to look legitimate, they would have to turn part of them in. And the others who they didn't account for, they hid us. And part of the time it was in this room, but then later on, there's a staircase right inside that door that goes up. Was a big white staircase. And there was a big double door. In fact, this bedroom had two big, thick, double sliding doors into it. One in the hallway, which was blocked on the inside with a dresser. She had a dresser sitting there. And then one that went into the room we all took naps in, where they kept the cots all stacked up. These blue canvas and metal cots. But then out here, the metal staircase, or not metal, white wooden painted staircase, they started hiding us up here, several of us. And I remember going up that big old staircase. It was like the hardest thing I ever had to do all day. Of course, it was, big. And it wasn't dark and scary inside, though. It was brightly lit, the best I remember. It had all kinds of light, window light in it, and brightly painted. But then we went up here, and she had one or two poodles. I remember toy poodles, and I think birds too up there. But I haven't, like I said, been in contact with any of the others. So I really don't know what went on. I remember being sick one time. I had contacted some sort of illness, and I had the most horrible tasting medicine, and it was ugly looking too, that I had to take. And then my grandma Smith, when I had to take it when I was at her house, she'd give me one of those big round red and white mints like they give a lot of times at restaurants, the um, single serve ones, to help follow that medicine up so it would take that nasty taste out of my mouth and give me the mint real quick, so I could down that. And I was so sick. I was in this room part of the time on a cot by myself, and part of the time the bed was right here in this little corner here. And the cot was out at like near the foot of the bed, and I had a puke pan that they put under my bed. And I remember getting in trouble because I couldn't always be quick enough to reach under there and grab that pan to puke. So I'd get kind of scolded. But I did run away from that place a number of times. And for some reason or another, I haven't been given that scenario to replay. It hasn't become like a nightmare flashback thing that I can go from that, try to piece together what happened. And you have to be very careful when you work with that kind of thing, because you don't want to get someone in trouble if they don't deserve to be in trouble. You know it? And that could happen really easily. And I thought it was just kind of funny this morning, the black SUV sitting out front. But then see, this next house up here was Dr. Proctor's house, and I found it this morning. Well, I'm on Trulia now, or Trulia. See, this was also a big old place. I thought that was yeah, I guess it was a deck built out the back. But that's a little door we went in. And then you could see Dr. Proctor's house on this side here. And here's the address. I don't know if it's still up for sale or not. I'm pretty sure if it was, they'd say so. Or say not and just shut it down if it was unavailable. But I don't remember going over here. So, I mean, that's not my issue. Not my issue at all. And I'm not trying to point fingers. I just like to know what happened to the others, you know. Let's see, let's squirrel this around here. This is or was Senator Mathewson's house. It's going to reload now, I guess. Sorry about that. See here. And I mean, I didn't mean to do that. I guess I'm old and nuts. Anyhow. See. Kind of spooky. But I mean, look how close these houses are. Did you notice? I don't want a house so close. I just don't like it. It bugs me. And I always, always, always loved this house. This house was to the west of Gehlken's. It says Woolry House. I know some Woolrys, but I don't know if it's theirs or not. Of course, I don't socialize like I once did. I gave up my social life in 1985 when I got a husband and just stayed, with that and worked on my marriage, worked on my life. My little family was what I held dear, you know. And I guess some people have a hard time with that because they disregarded that that possibility, that option, even though I told them, look, this was my life you were screwing with. They didn't proceed with caution. They were mean, you know. And I won't tell you the story about this here that was on the paper in this tower. Let y'all figure that one out yourself. But the black SUV is still kind of strange, you know. So if we can see. Yeah, they put that deck there. And I do remember one of the last few times I was there, this wall here, this retaining wall, was kind of in bad repair. But they've got that fixed. I'm glad to see that someone got it that's caring for the place instead of whatever. So, if you're one of the others that had this same kind of experience at this daycare, Tiny Tots, sometimes just referred to as Gehlken's daycare, Sedalia, Missouri, 65301, hit me up, let me know. Maybe somehow some of us can figure out what their malfunction was, because in figuring out my own life and these other little things crop in as like barriers or roadblocks and I can't move them out of the way, I've got to do something. That I've got to find out. So I guess that's my struggle. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Love ya.